We are live. Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Hello, hello. I am here with the amazing Steve and Gemma. We'll let you all try and catch up and come and see us here. Who the hell is Steve and Gemma? Well, Steve and Gemma are the awesome marketeers that are absolutely smashing it out the park when it comes to generating leads for letting agents. Now, there's been a lot of chat around leads and lead generation. I call them funnels. You can call them automated lead generation systems. You can call them whatever you like. But we are getting some pretty awesome results here. And so I've asked Steve and Gemma, the two people that are responsible for all the lead generation. I build the funnels, they drive the traffic. And to share with you exactly what sort of results they're getting, as much as 6x, 8x, 10x. We've even had 20x and 30x return on ad spend. Now, what does that mean? 10x return means if you spend £1,000 on ads, you get 10,000 back. 20x means if you spend 10,000 on ads, then you get £200,000 back. So we're looking at some really, really good results here. So I've asked them to come along and to share with us what sort of returns they're getting, what sort of results they're getting from doing online marketing. And if you're a letting agent and you're not doing online marketing at the moment, then this is really a good chance to find out what are the options, what are the opportunities that you could be doing with your funnels, your letting agency, etc. So just drop in the chat for me. Whereabouts are you in the UK? And we'll try and make it as regional as we possibly can. So where are you in the UK at the moment? Are you in the Midlands? Are you in London? Are you in Scotland? Are you in Wales? Are you in the north? Are you in the south, the east, the west? Wherever, just let me know where you are. I want to know where you all are, who's tuning in live to come and see me, Steve, and Gemma chatting about online lead generation. So, and if you're a letting agent, here's one of the big things I just want to share with you before I bring Steve and Gemma in to share their stories and to help you. One of the things that we noticed last year, and this was when the government released their white paper in July, was that in the lettings industry right now, and this is a really scary figure, 82% of landlords are not using letting agents for managed services. 82%. That means we, all of the 19,000 letting agents in the UK, and apparently that's how many there are according to the white paper, 19,000 letting agents are chasing the 18% of landlords. Now, that is not a good thing. And so as letting agents, we've got to be more creative. We've got to look at how to chase the 82%. We've got to look at how we can generate leads using marketing that puts ourselves in front of where our customers are. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't know about you guys, but when I've got 10 minutes spare, the first thing I do is I'm on my phone and I'm scrolling through things, looking at stuff. Well, news press. That's what your customers are doing too. So if we want to be found by our customers, we've got to put ourselves where our customers are, and that is the mobile phone, that is online, that is social media. We've got to put ourselves out there. And yet I see so many letting agents still doing leaflets and void letters and power hours and waiting on referrals and getting 3 or 4 leads a month, when in fact with a little bit creative marketing, which we're going to be talking to you about here today, you could be generating 100 or more leads per week. Now, one of the big things that I've had since I started talking about funnels in 2018, it's 5 years ago now I started talking about it. One of the things a lot of people say is, but these are just leads, they're no good, whatever. But if you're getting a 10x return on ad spend, then I'm afraid they are good. They're good quality leads. They're highly convertible leads. So not all leads are equal. And one of the really important things that Steve and Gemma hopefully will talk about as well is that it's really important now when you're marketing that you don't just market to landlords. One landlord is not the same as another landlord. A landlord could be a landlord that hasn't bought a property yet, so they're an investor. A landlord could be a landlord who bought 20 years ago and has had enough and wants to get out. A landlord could be a let-only landlord who doesn't need letting agents and can do it all themselves. So there's so many different types of landlords. So when you get into online automated marketing, it's really important that you choose what sort of landlords you want and you focus on aiming at those particular type of landlords. And when you get into the line of, I call it specificity, when you become very specific with targeted marketing, the results will exponentially explode. So that's just with that in mind, guys, that's what we're here talking about today. So that was a bit of a long introduction. I'm sorry, Gemma and Steve there. I was rambling on a little bit, as we do. Guys, let me know what you're doing for marketing right now. Just drop it in the chat. Are you doing lead automation funnels? Are you doing online marketing? Are you running ads? Just let us know. I want to hear from you whilst we're talking, and we'll bring you into the conversation. So Gemma and Steve, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi. You're welcome. How you doing?
Really good, thank you. I'm really excited that you joining us here today. It's absolutely amazing. So you guys, I know Steve, we've been working together for about 4 or 5 years now. Is it something like that?
Yeah, between 4 and 5 years.
4 or 5 years, yeah, I thought it was. And we started working together with you doing leads for me and for my businesses initially, wasn't it? That's how it started, and that was going really, really well, and we were getting really good leads and good returns. And then we started to ask other people what results they were getting, and they weren't getting the same sort of results. And it was just like, well, they were getting 3 or 4 leads a day or a week or something like that. We were getting hundreds. It's like, well, what's the difference? And the only thing we could pinpoint it down to, guys, those of you watching, was Steve. So I said, Steve, we need to start helping some other people do it. So about 12 months ago, we started, myself, Steve and Gemma, we actually started helping other letting agents do it the same. So it's on the basis of doing it for a year for about, how many agents are you working for now? Is it about 20 something? 25. Yeah. So we're 25 agents.
Yeah.
That we're now going to share those sort of examples with you. So that's the basis on what we're here. So Steve and Gemma, you're part of Agent Marketer. Tell me how you get such a good result compared to other ad agencies. What's the difference? Why do you get such results and the others don't?
I think you mentioned it a little bit earlier. We would only target one type of landlord or investor. Even if you're targeting like portfolio landlords or let-only landlords, you got to target really accurately with your written copy, with your creative, whatever you might be doing. Go after one, not many. And I think that's the difference when you're actually talking to the right type of landlord. You'll pull them in. You'll pull on their pain points, their emotion. If you're talking to a let-only landlord and you're actually trying to target someone with a massive portfolio that's already with another agent, your ad's going to flop, right? You're not going to get the leads that you're expecting or the quality of leads coming through. So yeah, target really accurately and understand that your message is going to one person, not many.
So the key is having a funnel that is very specifically built. And when I say a funnel, guys, that's like a landing page with an offer, with an opt-in. So having a funnel that's very specific to that particular avatar. But then it's also down to you, Steve, to make sure the ad's very specific to that particular avatar. So for example, a landlord investor isn't interested in subsection 2.4 of the Housing Act or the new changes to the Section 21 or Form 6A or anything like that. They want to know about the sexy stuff. You know, what can I buy? Where can I buy? What returns am I going to get? Which one's better, leasehold, freehold, all that sort of stuff. They're interested in that sort of thing. So it's using that sort of language.
Exactly.
Whereas a landlord who's one of the 82% that doesn't use letting agents, actually, they don't know what they don't know. And so the language needs to be very different in your ad, Steve, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I think as well, you've got to make sure that your customer journey from how you've built your funnel to the ad to how you're talking to them flows, okay? It's really key. So having a funnel that's already proven and you know that will work is the key to making sure that you get a high volume of leads and a good return on ad spend. If you don't do that, it just won't work. Or over time it might, but you'll get a sticking point and you'll learn and you'll keep going and eventually you might get there. But if you've got something that's proven, it makes a real difference.
What we're talking about there, guys, is congruency, isn't it? It's got to be congruent. The first page they land on your Facebook ad, then on your landing page, and then on the offer, and then in the email. It's got to be congruent all the way through. And usually when funnels fail or when ads fail, it's usually because they're non-congruent or non-specific. So if you're watching this, write those two things down. They must be specific and they must be congruent, and they have to be specific and congruent all the way through. So it doesn't make life easy for us, does it really, if we've got to have different ads for different types of landlords, but it means they're much easier to convert. And I think, would you agree, Gemma, that some of the conversion results that we're getting are there because of the specificity? We know exactly the position the landlord is in before we pick up the phone. And I think that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. We are having huge successes, especially with our investor funnel at the moment. So we've currently got a client who is on like utter minimum getting a 6 6x return on his ad spend on his investor funnel. So this month alone, so we're only on like the 24th of April, we have generated, or he has generated, from converting the leads that we are giving him, £12,816 in revenue, and we are on the 24th of April. That's from signing up to priority list, the agreed purchases, and then the 2 years of management after. And this isn't just April, a great month. This client is at least, getting 2 of these deal types each and every month. So he's spending a £10 a day, £10, guys, just a £10 a day ad spend, £300, approximately a month, and generating a minimum of £4,000 from that. And that is a minimum.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's absolutely amazing. And I think you'd agree with this, that the most successful agents getting the best results from ad spend and from doing online funnels are those with good sales teams. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
100%.
You have to pick up the phone, guys. These things don't just work without you. You have to pick up the phone. It's like it's a lead coming in. You don't go, I'm not going to speak to them. I'm just going to leave that. You have to speak to them. You have to pick up the phone. And we're seeing the results of the people that are really proactive in following up those leads. Speed to leads, a thing that I heard you talk about quite a bit, Gemma. It's like the people picking up that phone and being really, really fast and getting to the lead fast are the ones that are making the difference. There's a big difference between those that do and those that don't, isn't there? Huge.
Absolutely. So speed to lead, 15 minutes is that key time to, get on those phones.
No pressure.
Yeah, absolutely no pressure there. But 15 minutes, after that is when they start cooling down. I mean, they're totally not dead, but you do need to just act on it as quick as possible, really. Yeah.
Which is how you get the 10x and the 20x and the 8x return on ad spend, is by being fast. But of course, I was over in Mexico a few weeks ago, and I was with like 200 of the top marketeers in the world, and their average return on ad spend is 1.5%. And it's just like, wow, that's quite interesting. We're getting like such good big results, but I think the difference here is they're doing stuff online, so they're just relying on the computer to sell the thing. Whereas here, because a state agency, and this is a state agency and lettings agency, it's not just lettings, we are used to picking up the phone and speaking to humans. And I think that's what makes the difference. But if you don't pick up the phone and speak to humans, then you're probably going to get your 1.5% result on ad spend. So, it does make a big difference picking up that phone and having that phone call, which beauty about lettings and sales is we have loads of people sitting there to do that. So that's a real positive there. So Steve, tell me about the other thing. I know you really monitor every account as well. So why do you need to monitor? And so it's one of the things that Steve does, for example, guys, is when an ad is set up, I know that he every single day he has a team of people that just go through and check the ads all the time. Anything goes wrong, he's on it straight away. But I know most ad agents that don't do that. They just sort of run the ad and then leave it and then come and check it a month later, and it might have failed halfway through the month or ran out of budget or whatever. But why do you think that's important? Because you were really insistent that's one of the things that you did.
Yeah, we had to make sure that was embedded in the agency, like from day one. It's really key to make sure that we're monitoring the ads hourly. As much as if you ever, I don't know how you guys communicate, everyone, but we have like a Slack channel here and it's pinging all the time. So making sure that ads are optimal and making sure that their cost per leads and their KPIs are where they need to be. If we don't have that, we've seen other agents in the past come to us and say, we've had like 5 leads this month and we've spent £1,000, say. And obviously that shocks us a bit. But you've got to be constantly on the ads, because if you're not, you're going to overspend on platforms like Google. They run away and ever so quickly and get quite expensive if you're not on it. But on Facebook, you could quite easily get ad fatigue, right? So what will happen is your lead volume would drop drastically if you're not on top of it. So it's a full-time role. So make sure that you've got someone doing it because you need to be monitoring it at all times.
I had a chat with a guy beginning of last year, actually, and he ran a big multi-branch agency, and he was spending $3,000 a month on ads, and he got 17 leads in a month. And I'm like, what on earth are you doing? And what he was doing is he got his ad agency just driving traffic to his website. And we all know on websites, people get lost. They'll check the About Us page and the home page and, oh, look, there's an investor page. Oh, let's have a go how many properties they've got. And let's see who the team is. And then by which point they've got distracted and they've gone elsewhere. Guys, don't do that. If you're driving traffic to your website, don't do it. Don't run ads to drive traffic to your website. They've got to be specific and got to be congruent. So I think that also is a big thing, is having the funnel process to drive traffic to, rather than just driving to your website, because that's never going to, even if your valuation tool is on your website, it's still not going to work, because they're going to get lost and wander about. Take it off your website, put it somewhere separate, really focus on that specificity. Now, I know you're really excited before we got on this call, Gemma. You wanted to share a big win, a big success. So you go on, I'm not going to steal your thunder. You tell us all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a campaign focusing on, trying to convert let-only landlords to fully managed. Now, this company...
82% for those of you guys that maybe not, let-only is self-managed is another word we use in the industry as well. So it's that 82%.
Yeah. So this client that we're working with has had about, well, probably a few more now, but over 1,000 leads. So 1,066 leads at just £2.62. So already way above that other agents that you were just talking about there. And
where are they based? I know a question's going to come up. Whereabouts in the UK are they?
So that's Nottingham.
So that's the middle. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. My geography is not that strong, but it is where it needs to be.
Guys, they're from the south. Anything north of Watford,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the cut-off. Watford. Yeah. So they have generated an absolute whopping £27,714. Okay, which is just amazing. They have spent £2,632 on their ad spend, and from that they've actually gone a little bit wider in taking over let only to fully managed. So as well as that, they've actually got managements out of that, tenant rescue packages, investor packages, and that is a whopping just above a 10x return on their ad spend. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right?
So what you're telling me there then, from letting agency speak, is they're being a little bit more creative with the leads, and rather than just saying, can we let and manage your house, they're phoning them really quick. They get on the phone and saying, can we let and manage your house? They've got a solution for different problems. So landlords that got themselves in trouble because they're not doing things right, they've got a rescue package. So they're looking at different ways to serve landlords as well as just the standard management package. And guys, that's so important. Look for new ways to serve your customers. You should have about 6, 7 or 8 different services that you can plug into your letting agency, depending on your skill set, of course. And £27,000 from £1,000 ad spend. I mean, that's just phenomenal, isn't it? Really, really good.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely amazing. Wow, that's fantastic. Now, one of the things I just want to share with you guys, those of you watching, we are actually running an event on the 11th and 12th of May. And I just want to give you, this is your invite to come along to join us on that. Now, it's absolutely free to attend. The event is called ARX Mastery, okay? www.ARX Mastery. There'll be a thing coming up on a screen in a minute, and there'll be a link appearing wherever you're watching as well if you want to come along. So if you want to come along, it's 2 days, and we're going to be sharing how to build these funnels, how to drive this traffic to you, how to win those leads, how to convert those leads, how to get the 10x results. We're even going to have people that have actually done that standing on stage and sharing with you how they've done it. And Steve and Gemma are going to be there too, and they're going to be giving some real live examples of how they do this and what they do to put it into their business. Why are we doing this? Guys, we've got to get better at marketing, and I want to help the industry do that. That's my job. I'm a letting agent, 32 years in the industry, former ALA president. I'm a funnel builder. I love marketing. I'm obsessed with it. And this 2-day event is to show you how to do that. So if you haven't got your ticket yet to ARX Mastery, 2-day event, 11th and 12th of May, just hop over to www.arxmastery.co.uk and go and get your ticket. There are higher options. There's a 147 ticket and a 297 ticket as well, depending on whether you want the recordings and the bonus sessions and things like that. But you can attend for free if you want to. So make sure you go and get your ticket. All right. So Steve and Gemma, what are you going to be sharing at the event? What delights are you going to be sharing us?
Okay, so I'm super excited because for the first time ever, I'm actually going to be breaking down campaign strategy for Facebook, Instagram, Google, and I'm going to touch base on YouTube. YouTube's very new in the industry, but I will be touching that too. I'm going to be showing you how to target your ideal avatar. Okay, so depending on what type of landlord that you're trying to hit. Also, what's working now, the type of campaigns that we're running that are absolutely killing it wise for return on investment. and the types of like creatives and the things that you might need to say to actually get someone to take action on your ads. So hopefully that will cover multi-platform. So you can not just, you might see a lot of agencies like maybe running ads on Facebook only. We'll be covering multi-platforms on the day. So
there's quite a lot that just do Facebook. I think a lot of us have dined out on Facebook for a long time, but one of the things in the marketing world, Steve, and I'm sure you're aware of this, as I know you are, a lot of people are getting their Facebook accounts shut down, and some are getting those Facebook accounts shut down terminally. So you just got to be really careful that you spread your risk, really. And also, I'm going to ask you about the different value of leads, because there's different types of leads. There's Google leads, Facebook leads, YouTube leads. You can get really cheap leads from YouTube, more expensive leads from Google, middle of the road from Facebook. They all have a different value. So I think it's really important that for your people on the phones that are converting, they get a wide variety of leads, that you've got leads to build your database up that you can nurture, leads that you can convert straight away, leads that you may have to make a few phone calls to convert. And depending on where that lead came from, the origin of the lead, will really dictate the conversations that you have and how long it takes to convert. So just be aware of that, guys. Facebook isn't the only answer. There are other options out there. So Gemma and Steve, I don't know who wants to talk about this. Where do you think are the best leads, or is it good to have which do you think are the best convertible? Which one's the best price? What's your experience on that topic?
Okay.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. So from my side, Google, when it comes to quality, is someone who's intent. Okay, so someone's actively searching online to find out an answer or take the next step in their customer journey. So the cost per lead on Google, actually, from like an online sales valuation and things like that at the moment, is doing really, really well. Borderline near enough equal to Facebook, because of how sort of saturated Facebook probably is at the moment when it comes to like an online sales val or anything like that. So when it comes to Google, I think people are more intent for the conversion there.
Let me just repeat what you've just said, if I'm correct in understanding this. The Google leads are coming in at the same price as Facebook. But for those of you watching that don't know what Steve just said, because I'm going to translate it into human speak, Steve. When you go on Google, you type in what you're looking for: how to grow a tomato plant, how to bake a lasagna, how to value my house, right? So when you type in how to value my house, a valuation tool comes up in your area, because Google knows where you are. And so it gives you a very specific valuation tool, let's say, if that's the topic we're talking about. But the customer intended to find a valuation tool. So that lead is hot because they're asking for it. On Facebook, however, they're just scrolling looking for cat videos and dog videos and workout videos and funny videos and TikToks and things like that. And then they go, oh yeah, I wonder if my house has gone up. Click, bang. So there's not as much intent there. That's a great point. But what Steve's just said, which is really interesting to me, and I've not heard him say this before, that the Google ad leads are coming in at the same price as Facebook. Now, Gemma, which type of lead would you rather convert, the Facebook lead or the Google lead? Which one would you rather pick up on the end of the phone?
Oh, absolutely Google, with the intent, you know, that they want you to call, they want to find out the value of their house. Absolutely the Google lead.
That's amazing. And so many people are not even advertising on Google. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Wow. That's really interesting. I didn't know that. So sorry, I interjected there. Carry on.
Yeah. So when it comes obviously like to YouTube as well, we'll be sharing something at the event related to what's really working from a YouTube side of things. But for example, if you have like a shorter video ad on YouTube, you can get cost per lead quite low, but the quality might not be there. But if you have like a longer video, for example, where you're absolutely explaining everything for the call to action at the end, someone's watched, say, a certain amount of time, 5-minute video, and then you've got a call to action at the end, you know they're going to be a little bit more warmer if they've watched the whole video and then taken action. So depending on the ad creative that you're using, depends on like the quality of lead, and the cost depends on that from a YouTube side of things.
Now, I know one of the things that you've been working on as well is doing really short ads as well as long ads as well. So you've been doing 15-second ads, haven't you?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
And ads they're actually they're doing awesome for your event, if you want to be honest. It's everyone's in that real stories, you know, that quick video, get my information, do I want to take action, yes or no? They're really working across, you know, like the Facebook, Instagram, sort of TikTok world at the moment, where it's fast, snappy, let me know where I need to go next.
And I think
very early days on that one, but it's certainly getting some exciting results. Sorry, Gemma.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, I think that's why it's great to be advertising a multi-platform as well, because you can then give that, different amounts of value in those different places. And then your lead or potential lead, before it converts, right, will see you and you'll be building trust. So you'll might search on Google, you'll be seen on Facebook, pop up on YouTube, you'll be everywhere building trust. Then when they're ready, they know who to call.
And just keeping yourself in their mind as well. Whatever you do, if you're doing a webinar, or you're doing a landlord seminar or an office soiree or anything, you've got loads of people to invite. One of the things I think is really important for letting agents, and it's something that not many do, and that is actually building a prospecting database. Everywhere you go now, people are collecting data, but letting agents, we don't seem to do that. We have our database with landlords and tenants on and valuations and things, but we don't have a prospecting database that we email on a weekly basis and nurture. And just over a year ago, I actually set a project and I started a brand new database to see how quickly I could fill it up. And we've got 9,600 landlords and vendors on that database in just under a year. And that's pretty phenomenal. That's 9,600 brand new landlord and vendor leads. That's not old data dragged up from forever. That's a brand new database, 9,600 in less than a year. I think that's pretty awesome. And I think, from a letting agent's point of view, that's 9,600 people that you can ring, talk to, email, nurture, send you newsletter guide, download, whatever you want to do. You've got 9,600 people that you can speak to. So I think as well, Steve, that's really important, isn't it? That database is really important to you also for your targeting as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, what's nice is if you've got one, you can retarget them. You can create lookalike audiences. So if you have a database of X amount of people, say 300 to 500, you can plug these into your advertising platforms and say, hey, Facebook, find me people that are like these people, which is really powerful. It's amazing how much data these platforms have on us. But also as well, if you have certain CRMs that you can track whether someone's even opened an email or opened the last 3 emails. Who are you going to call first? The one that hasn't opened an email for the last 6 months, or the one that's opened the last 3? Your team would be straight on.
Well, you've also got the live tracker as well, haven't you? Which I think is really cool. And this is on Keep. There's a live tracker where you can see who's opened it like now, like 1 minute ago, 3 minutes ago, 30 seconds ago. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure Jeevan's got a link to Keep somewhere that he's going to share. But it's a really cool piece of kit. We use Keep. It's really awesome. But I love that, because when you say speed to the lead, you can literally see who's opened it like at this minute, and you can ring them up and say, hi, I see you're interested in blah 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 blah. So a bit stalky, but it's good.
You have to put on those things, right?
It's another marketing strategy at the end of the day. It's not paid as well. Like, you paid for your software, that bit's free because you own it.
Exactly. And it can never be taken away from you. I think that's really important. When you're on these social media platforms, as great as they are, and we live by them, but at the end of the day, at any moment, they could be gone or taken away from you, or you could be shut down and then you've lost everything. So if you put all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak, and you lose your Facebook account or your YouTube account or your Google account after promoting on it for 4 years or 5 years, you then lose all of that asset, and that's really painful. It's not somewhere you really want to go. So spread that risk as much as you can. Look at new mediums and get out there. Now I'm going to come to Gemma for another success story. Just before we do, guys, don't forget arxmastery.co.uk. If you haven't got your ticket yet, you need to be getting it. All right, www.arxmastery.co.uk. You need to be getting your ticket now. All right, you can get them for free or you can pay. So anyway, I'm going to pass over to Gemma. Give me another example of another success story.
Well, this one just blew straight out the gate. So the reason I'm sharing this is because this success has happened within literally a couple of weeks of the campaign launching. So really, really fast results. This is a valuation tool, okay? 372 leads, wait for it, at £1.62. Just an incredible price there. 10 market appraisals booked in, 2 instructions, okay? So that's going to generate a minimum revenue of £5,000, okay? £602 ad spend, 602. That's 8x return on ad spend there.
And you've got all those people to nurture as well, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's a estate agency, not lettings.
Yeah.
No, not lettings.
Yeah, so this stuff works for estate agency and lettings. It works for both sides. If you want leads and you want to get leads fast that you can track and you can trace the return on investment, this is where it's at. Now, I can remember 10 years ago, Gary Vee was always saying, you can't measure the ROI on social media. You put all these posts out and you share and you do blogs and all this other stuff. And hopefully you get some business from it. It's very different now. Now you can track it. You can actually see exactly what you've spent. I'm going to come to Steve in a minute. You can see exactly what you've spent. You can see exactly what they've clicked on, what they've downloaded, what they've opted into. You can track that right through to the call. You can track it to the penny. It's really quite exciting now. And as a business owner to know, I mean, my Wolverhampton branch, I spend £1,000 a month on ads. And if we've got a promotion on, it may go to £1,200 a month. But I know that we're generating 20, 30, and even as much as £54,000 in 1 month from that ad spend. It's just like, how much do you want to spend? It's like crazy. If I had more staff, I'd spend more. But I think Ali would actually kill me, to be fair. Because when I have spent too much, it's like, turn it off. Stop.
It is a balance of lead volume. It is a balance.
Let's just talk about that for a minute. Because I know, you've helped 25 people with their ads. We've helped literally hundreds of agents build funnels. Talked about lead volume, because the key thing here is you have a choice, don't you? You can have as many leads as you want. Just talk to us how that works. Because this is a foreign concept to letting agents, having as many leads as you want, because you think, well, I just want hundreds. But actually, do you? Because we've been there, haven't we, Steve? Yeah. So,
yes. Yeah. I think for me, it's understanding that you can turn it on. And when you turn it on, we've had clients in the past go, whoa, like slow down. And you're like, okay, we can tone it back a bit, but we've got to get to like a great point where you're okay on the phone, and then your ad spend and things like that, and the return on investment's where it needs to be. So I think, yes, we can. It's all dependent on ad spend. So if you want to spend £1,000 a month, then you know that you're going to get X amount of leads in a month. Once we've dialed in the exact cost per lead for you, our KPIs are half of what other marketing agencies are targeting for. So, for example, like a let-only managed landlord, leads are coming in at probably average about £8 for like other agencies, the work that we've sort of found out on research. And our KPI is around under £4.50. So
we're getting them in for way less than that.
We are way less, but we've got to give ourselves a little bit of a buffer. But yeah, so that's our strong KPI, and if it gets anywhere near it, it's changed anyway. But so you can build like a business plan off the back of it, right? So if I'm getting leads in for £3 or even £2 for most, then you can say, right, how many does it take for me to convert? And then once you've got that calculation, you can then cost per result. We can scale to the moon off the back of that. It's once you've got those.
Most letting agents start out as with a budget. I mean, we're £1,000, but we've been doing it 4 years now. So what do you find most people start out at? Because most letting agents, they've got a couple of staff, 2-3 staff. Is it £150 a month ad spend, 200, 300? What's the starting point, Steve? What would you say?
I'd say it's between like 300 and 600, depending on how many campaigns they're running.
So one campaign, £300, 2 campaigns, £600, that sort of thing you're working on.
Around like £10 a day would give you like a clear understanding per platform, per campaign.
What would you expect to get back from that, Gemma, on results on the back end, with the phone calls and the nurturing? What would you expect on £300? What would you expect to get back?
So, sorry, go on, Sally.
What would you expect to get back in the early days? Because one of the things people are going to be asking is, that's a lot of money. So if I spend £300, that's a lot of money. How long is it going to take me to get that money back? And what am I going to get back?
Well, those with successful selling teams, people picking up the phone, acting on those leads quickly, we are seeing really, I would want to say, a minimum of a 5x return on that ad spend, really. Because also the leads that come in, even if they're not converting straight away, after those first phone calls, with more nurture, they convert a little bit down the line. So although you're investing money in it, actually, the more work you put into it, actually, the more that they're going to convert as they're coming on.
Yeah, so 5x, that would be about £1,500 then for a £300 ad spend, just as a rough figure. And the speed, I know the example you just gave of 10 market appraisals, 2 instructions, that was within the first 10 to 14 days, was that right?
Yeah, it was real quick.
From launch. So 10 to 14 days from launch.
Rang that as well.
Because some people think this is going to take ages, it's going to take a long time, but actually it doesn't. It happens really fast. You switch it on, 100 odd leads will come in the first week. Then you'll go, panic. What happens next then, Gemma? Talk me through, how do you get people through this like initial, yeah, I can cope with whatever leads you send me, I'm fine. Then it's like, how do you cope with that? How do you talk them through it?
Well, it's all just about getting that strategy, looking at who is going to own making those phone calls from the agents. So looking at who's feeling comfortable. I know that when you've spoken before, Sally, actually not all the successes are the people that you would expect to, that not always the people who you think would be the most confident on the phone, they're not always the converters. So actually test out other members of your staff. It's just about building that kind of back end system. Know what's going to happen when the leads come in, who's going to deal with it, who's going to action. If the lead hasn't picked up straight away because they might not answer your first phone call, put a reminder in your diary. Call them a different day, a different time. Reminders, especially sales val. If they're not ready to sell their property right now, find out if they'd be interested in a call in 3 months' time. Book that in, and keep nurturing. Send those emails, invite them to Facebook groups, get them subscribed on your YouTube channel, keep touching points with them as well, but build up your relationship with them, nurture them.
It's fascinating. Everyone always thinks the problem is not enough leads, but when they do get a ton of leads, they realize that the next problem is that because you've not been getting many leads, you haven't got the robust sales process behind it. So your current team might be able to deal with 3 or 4 leads, but they won't be able to deal with 300 to 400 leads. So quite often the next phase, from where Gemma's just said, the next phase is there's a little bit of restructuring going on. And what I found in my branch is instead of negs, we've now got BDMs. So my branch has completely evolved. It used to be 2 negs, lister, office admin, branch manager. Now it's 2 BDMs, soon to be 3 BDMs, 1 neg, and that's it. It's just really all about converting those leads. So you'll find that the business will evolve and your negs become BDMs and lead converters, and the world becomes a very different place. So it is fascinating how the post lead generation evolution continues, because you've got a different problem. Another problem is those leads, and it's a whole new problem to have, which is a nice problem to have, but it is a problem. It's still an issue, and when I first turned the funnels on and gave Ali 800 leads in his first month, he was almost crying down the phone. Stop. And I'm like, no, let's figure it out.
And you will figure it out, right? We do push a lot of the clients to your conversion training and things like that to make sure that they are speaking correctly to the right type of avatar, because that's just as important. It's just part of the customer journey.
Absolutely. So guys, this is Steve and Gemma. They are from Agent Marketer. That is an ad agency that works with me. It's all part of our collective agent Rainmaker community, driving marketing and lead generation into the letting agency world. They're currently working for around 25 different letting agents, having some amazing results. We've been doing that for a year. They've been working for me around for about 4 or 5 years now as well. So we've got this amazing relationship where I build the funnels and I master plan the whole congruency and specificity. And then these guys drive the traffic, and then our letting agency branches and the different members, they then convert the leads. And what we're talking about here is the results of all of that. And my reasoning for why I believe it's working so well and why we're smashing everybody else out the water when it comes to results is because you've got a letting agent, me, 32 years in the industry. I know the different avatars. I am a landlord. I am the avatar. I understand the avatars. I understand the needs, the wants, the pains, and what's going to get them to click and buy and convert. You guys are working with so many letting agents. You're getting the knowledge of scale of what works in London and Nottingham and North East and West Coast and Scotland and Wales and all that South Coast and all that sort of different things. You're getting all of that knowledge, which you can then share and move that around. But also, you don't do copy and paste campaigns. You keep them very, very much fresh and specific. And I wouldn't say the word bespoke is not quite, but they are very unique across all the areas. And you monitor those campaigns. You care and you want them to work well. So put all that together. It's a bit of a match made in heaven, really. And we together collectively are going to be putting on this 2-day event called ARX Mastery on the 11th and 12th of May. So guys, if you haven't already booked your ticket, please come along. You can attend for free for 2 days, and we will educate you on how to drive leads to your business, how to grow revenue, revenue, how to do additional services, how to upsell, downsell, side sell, and all those different things. Steve will talk to you about ads. Jem will talk to you about conversion. We'll be sharing with you everything you need to know to do this for your own agency. So really just a reminder, if you haven't got your ticket yet, just head over to arxmarshall.co.uk. There's 3 ticket levels you can attend for free. You're going to pay $147 and you get a few more bells and whistles like workbooks, download, bonus sessions, and for $295 you actually get the recordings of the event as well. So it's up to you which way you wanted to attend, but whatever you do, please make sure you're there. We've had 275 people book on it so far, I think. So there's quite a lot of people coming along, so it's going to be cool. We're looking to get to that magic 300 number, so it'd be great if you can come and join us. It's going to be an amazing 2 days. Are you guys excited for this, Steve and Gemma?
Yeah, so
yeah,
excited,
absolutely. Yeah, can't wait to share everything. Get everyone else successful too, right?
Yeah,
I bet you can't wait to go on that virtual stage in Slough either, can you?
yeah. Seeing everyone's faces.
It's really cool, this stage. Like, it's a proper stage and there's screens all around. It's really weird, and it's in Slough.
Not too far. That's cool.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. So any more success stories to share, Gemma? I know you've got a nice little stash of different stories and things and different people who've done amazing things. Well, just to finish us off.
Yeah, absolutely. So just going to throw out some numbers at us. So we spoke a little bit about YouTube. So we have an investor funnel currently running on YouTube, testing slightly a longer ad. Now, 60 leads at £6.76 for that. Okay, so it's a really, really good conversion number on that. So sorry, good a lead price on that. That's working really, really nicely. We've also got, a compliance campaign, so let only landlord campaign. Just 512 leads at £1.92. Amazing results here. Yeah. A revenue of about £20,000. So that's approximate revenue because that's just with one takeover, and there's more properties being added as we speak to that portfolio takeover. £983 ad spend. So that's a lovely 20x return on their ad spend there. 20x.
And to me, as a letting agent, there's so much you can do with those leads as well. Whether you're helping landlords to buy properties that you can charge for, whether you help them to refurbish properties that you can charge for, whether you're helping them to let properties, which you can tie them into 2 years management, which you can charge for, let only convert to fully managed, which you can charge for. There is so much there that you can generate revenue from. And if you want to know how to put all of that together, then make sure you come to ARX Mastery. Guys, I hope we've convinced you, and I hope you've been educated here about leads and funnels and marketing and all that sort of stuff. If not, you'll see loads more videos, no doubt 15-second ads from me running all over the internet talking about this stuff, because we're so excited, aren't we? We're so excited by the success of it. It's blown us away. It's blown me away. Would you agree it's blown you away with the results?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the return on ad spend sort of like unheard of. We've worked hard. We have worked hard to get it right. But yeah, it's nice when you see it working, for sure.
It's a combined effort though, isn't it? It's between the funnels that we've built, the traffic from you, and the conversions from the agents. And the 3 skill sets, put all that together and you have rocket fuel. It's so exciting. When I was in Mexico and I was going 1.5, I'm like, is there a decimal point in the wrong place? Is that right?
The marketing space, right? They really are. That's some of the people at that meeting, at that event in Mexico. So yeah, it's good to hear that we're smashing it here.
You are, and I think if I'd have stood up and said it, they'd have been like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
But it's that phone conversion. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's getting on that phone. That's the bit that makes the difference. And you can't replace that. We have to get on the phone at the end of the day. So guys, thank you so much for joining me here today. You have been absolutely amazing. As always, it's a pleasure to both work with you and to present with you. And I really can't wait to see you at ARX Mastery. We're going to tell the whole world about funnels and lead generation and conversion, hopefully get them all excited and want to do the same in their businesses. Because do you know what? A business that can generate 300 leads a month is a business that can go places. You can increase revenue, you can increase profit, you can increase staff, you can build a machine, and you have control. You can turn it up, you can turn it down, you can turn it off, you can do whatever you want to do, but you have complete control. And to run a business where you have control of how many leads you generate, is just like a dream come true for most letting it. I say that from being in a place for 20 years of not having that control, and then now having that control, it's like it's a dream. I don't even work in the office and I can turn it up and turn it down. I don't have to batter the staff or anything. I just turn it up. So Steve, up we go. Steve, down.
Yeah.
And it just works. It's amazing. So, guys, if I've whet your appetite at all, come along to airxmarsh.co.uk. I'm not even going to charge you a penny. Come along for free. Hopefully, you'll absolutely love it. And see myself, Steve, Gemma, a few agents, a few other people as well. It's going to be an absolutely amazing 2 days. And we're going to be sharing loads of other stuff, all these additional services we talked about. We're going to talk about that as well. I'm going to share with you over 21 different ways to add 100K to your business. So we're just going to be throwing loads of stuff out. It's all new stuff as well, which is great. So if you've been on any of our things before, this is all new. So it's going to be totally different. So anyway, hopefully I will see you there. And Steve and Gemma, thank you so much for joining us today. You've been awesome. Thank you.
Everyone.
See you later. Okay.